craft brews and casual conversations. We be drinking some ale stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. Dudes with Brews on a porch.
You're about to hear the greatest show of your life.
Dude.
Dudes with Brews on a porch with Rob and Drew.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am. How are you?
You think, therefore you am?
Yes.
Good, good. We're going to be drinking Two Brothers, an Artisan Brewing, Domaine, right?
Yes.
DuPage?
DuPage.
DuPage. It is a French country ale from Warrenville, Illinois. This is where all the rabbits live, which is ironic because the beer that we'll be drinking next time has to do with rabbits as well.
Yeah.
And not to be confused with the Warren of the Bunny Ears podcast. Have you ever listened to that? The Bunny Ears podcast? Macaulay Culkin?
No, I have not.
Do you know he hasn't done a new episode in a while, but yeah. Bunny Ears.
Good?
Yeah, it's all right. I like Macaulay Culkin a lot. I find him very interesting.
I don't know that much about him.
Yeah, you learn.
Well, then I'll look into it.
He's done like the WTF podcast. He did Inside of You. He did an episode of Smodcast. He was on Ellen.
Oh, I saw that. No, I'm just joking.
But yeah, we're drinking this stuff. ABV 5.9%, 24 on the IBUs. Rob, it's
12 on the fluid ounces.
12 on the fluid ounces. You know, I think that's something we should include. How many fluid ounces we are consuming? That's I like that, and we'll go into why I like that after I read these details.
All right.
If my phone decides to give me the details. Are you ready for the details? Of course you're ready for the details. Well, the details are inspired by the brothers' first time living in France. Oh, oui, oui.
Oh, wow.
This food-friendly ale is deep amber in color, which I would agree, with a toasty and sweet caramel or caramel, if you're pretentious, start. It finishes with just enough hops to clean off the palate. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Do you say the caramel or caramel?
You know, I just switched it up.
Sometimes you just say tomato. Sometimes you say tomato.
No, it's always tomato.
Tomato.
Yeah. I fuck that tomato shit.
There's a guy on he's a judge on Cutthroat Kitchen, and he's British, and I hate it. I hate him because it's just the way he talks, and he goes, well, you know, the tomato. He always says tomato, and it drives me fucking crazy. It's a fucking tomato, dude.
Yeah. My cousin
I'm sorry if you say tomato.
Yeah,
it's okay to be
to each his own, but fuck you. And that's pronounced fuck you.
Right.
But my cousin says, like, we play video games together, and so he says melee instead of melee, and that bothers me.
Melee?
Yeah, melee.
I've never heard anybody say that.
I think he does it just because of that. But this is, let's get into this beer, because it looks almost pumpkin shade to me.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's it's got a
that caramel.
It's got a real it's got a real like just classic beer smell to it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I haven't smelled
like this
it yet.
This is what you.
Oh yeah.
You go to the bar, and you say Jarvis, whip me up your finest ale, and this is what it smells like.
Yeah, that's definitely the beer smell that you are used to smelling.
Yeah. Taste-wise, it tastes like an ale. I'm not really getting any caramel to it. Not hoppy by any means. It's not bitter. It's like a you know, as I like to say, this is like your game day beer. This is a game day beer you eat with a bag of Lay's.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting that sweet caramel taste.
It's not bad.
No, I'm trying to think of what that aftertaste is.
Hams?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. You know what? It's kind of hard to describe, honestly.
It is
because
a
it's not
straight up beer. You know, it's
just an ale.
Yeah.
There's really not much pizzazz. There's not much to it. It's your standard ale. Dare I say generic?
No, I think that it's a little bit better than a generic.
Well, yeah, it's not. It's definitely not a fucking Coors Light.
Oh, you're
or
saying
anything.
just generic beer taste or
Right,
ale
right,
taste?
right.
Yeah. I think it's your everyman ale.
Okay.
We'll maybe that's a better word.
I like it.
All right.
Well, Rob, you don't know what we're talking about.
I don't.
But I haven't announced this great news. Last week, we were discussing a future podcast that we're going to be working on together.
Can't wait for that.
And I said, hey, man, let's make this shit a fish. And you are going to be the co-host officially.
Yeah.
Because you've been on for a long time of Dudes with Brews on a Porch. How does that make you feel?
I've never been happier this week, and that's not even. I'm not that's not a joke. I'm not being facetious.
Good.
I told my friends. I told my family. Well, I told my family, and you already knew. So.
Yeah. I was already there.
But my friends are my family. I was. Actually, I told a lady in the grocery store. So I'm excited about it.
Good. I'm excited to.
It wasn't until 5 seconds before this podcast that I was like, shit. Now the pressure of I can't do it, and then be like, oh, maybe I'll get something. Now it's I have to do it well, or something can be taken away from me. No.
You
say that with your mouth.
Just do what you always do, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
I gotta go.
Now, you've been a part of, how many episodes has it been?
I think this is 21 now.
21 episodes.
Maybe 22, but I think it's 21 for sure.
But do the listeners really know you, Rob?
I feel like they know quite a bit about me.
Do you think so? What's your favorite color?
I don't even know if I know that one. It's in the blue hue. It changes. I'm weird with favorites because my favorite color changes, my favorite food changes.
Well, currently, what's your favorite food?
Vanilla ice cream.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I think it says a lot about you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also like vanilla ice cream.
I'll ask my therapist.
I prefer vanilla over chocolate.
For sure.
Just I don't know why. I'm not really a huge chocolate person. Like when people are like, "Oh, chocolate cake," and I'm like, man,
give me a white cake.
Give me a white cake with a buttercream on top, and call me vanilla, but goddamn, it tastes good. It tastes good, Rob.
If I want to step into my therapist's shoes, I would say the reason that and because me and you are very we're brothers. We're drinking two brothers. We'll give this segment a theme, and that is
sure.
I'm gonna say things that I can't say for you, but I'm gonna say them for you, and that is based on what we've talked about on this before. If I was sitting in my therapist's chair and she was sitting across from me and she said my favorite food is vanilla ice cream. And vanilla cake or white cake, she might go something along the lines of, well, that works with your people pleaser mentality because you can add anything to vanilla. You're not gonna make any enemies with vanilla. It's bland. It's an everyman ice cream. This is an everyman beer. It's an everyman ice cream. It's an everyman flavor.
Does everything have to mean something though?
No, I'm just joking.
I know.
Yeah,
but that's one thing. I always see people and I've had conversations with people about this too. They're like, oh, if you have a dream about this, it means this. I'm like, no, you just had a fucking dream about it. There's dreams that we've talked about before where a lot of people share common themes, and I don't know if I believe that it's linked to a certain thing or not, or maybe you just have had a lot of people share similar experiences.
Well, in terms of this man, go back and listen to this man.
Right.
If you want to know what we're talking about. But 7 billion people, 2000 is probably within a statistical anomaly of hey, there's this because if you dream about somebody you don't know, it is somebody in the world.
Who was the other guy we talked about last time? Red Eye Shadow guy.
There's this man, and then there's the
Hat Man.
Hat Man, yeah.
Hat Man.
Black Shadow Hat Man.
Not that man.
Not
this man. Not that man.
Yeah.
It's Hat Man.
Who's on third?
Not to be confused with the Cat in the Hat.
Yes.
But anyways, okay. So I would agree with you. Vanilla ice cream. Throw some if you really want to spice it up. Put some Oreos in there or some shit.
Oreos good. Yep.
Again, but when I eat an Oreo, straight for the filling. Did you see those fucking mega ass Oreos?
They got triple fills now?
Dude, it's like fucking 10 filled.
Wow.
They're thick as fuck.
I saw a pound Oreo. Did you ever see that thing?
No.
It was like $10 and it was one big ass Oreo.
I feel like that would go bad quickly.
Yeah,
you can't put it down.
That's like a novelty. That's like, hey, I'm gonna gift this to you, and then you get to throw it away. Here's to world hunger.
That's very true. So, okay,
it's
vanilla
an American
ice cream.
gift for sure.
Yeah. What's your favorite music? I'm looking around. I see a Built to Spill poster that's signed.
Oh, Built to Spill is not Built to Spill is always my favorite band.
Yeah.
And then there was a while when I was younger that Radiohead kind of
really
they were vying for that top spot, but I always go back to Built to Spill.
I'm not a Radiohead guy.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Do you like Pearl Jam?
No,
neither do I.
Well, I shouldn't say no.
There's a couple of songs that are okay.
I'm okay with Pearl Jam, but I just.
How about Nirvana?
Nirvana, I like and I dislike some.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those all-out Nirvana guys. I'm not one of those all-out Pearl Jam guys. For a long time, I was one of those all-out Radiohead guys, where I could only listen to Radiohead.
Really?
It was the only thing that was good to me. And
that was Blink-182 for me when I was in middle school, elementary through middle school. All I listened to was Blink-182.
I think everybody kind of goes through a Blink-182 phase.
Yeah.
Everybody I knew did.
Yeah.
At least,
Well, especially when we grew up.
But the difference
in
is
the 90s.
when I was your age, at that time, when I was in my middle school or whatever, it was Dude Ranch.
Right.
Which was a great album.
Right. Enema of the State's good.
And then I the first not the first CD I ever got, but I remember getting Enema of the State as a gift, and that was when Mike was like, "Oh fuck, I don't like Blink-182 anymore."
I thought it was pretty good. I still like Blink-182, and I'll listen to them from time to time, and I know every fucking word.
Oh, I still know the words, yeah. And I don't remember what I mean, a lot of people that listened to Blink-182 before Enema of the State felt like they kind of sold out because they Pete Bested their drummer, and then they got What's My Age Again on MTV or whatever.
Right.
And their sound kind of changed from...
Yeah. Well, now Matt Skiba of Alkaline Trio is in Blink-182 instead of Tom DeLonge.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
How do you have Blink-182 without Tom DeLonge?
Tom DeLonge is crazy. Straight up fucking nuts now.
He was the high-pitched singer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. That's why I don't do impressions. Remember your impression? Can we get a little what's it, Gilbert Gottfried from you again?
I could do it in my head.
I tried to do this after I talked. Okay, so I'm not even lying about this. I told a lady at the grocery store that I was the co-host that I got made co-host of this podcast because she gave me a sample of a beer. And I was like, I probably wouldn't have taken this except for I just got some good news today. So I took a shot. I took a shot of beer as a celebration. And I kind of told, and as I walked away, I was thinking about the podcast, and I was thinking about that impression, and I tried in the grocery store several times to get a somewhat, and in my head, I feel like I know what to do with my nose and to nasally, and the anger,
and then when you execute it,
it horribly executed. How come? Yeah, it's I'm trying to even think of what he.
Two Jews walk into a bar. It sounds like a really shrill grandmother.
Yeah. What? I can't even do it. I can't even bring myself to do it. I'm it's so mine is so much worse than yours. But yeah, so that's why I don't do impressions.
But anyways, Tom DeLonge's nuts. He created this company called To the Stars Academy. People invested in it, and it's already in hella debt. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he's talking about all this top secret shit that he can't really talk about but he was talking about it, like, but he just kept saying, I can't really give you details on it. I don't know. He's nuts. But Matt Skiba and Blink-182, really good in my opinion. I'm a huge Matt Skiba fan. I love Alkaline Trio. I love Matt Skiba and the Secrets. I love everything about Matt Skiba.
Skiba.
I've seen Alkaline Trio 10 times. I've seen Matt Skiba twice playing acoustic shows. I saw Matt Skiba and the Secret for their very first show in Chicago.
Well, good for you.
I'm just saying, I'm a big fan, Dick. Like that's all I'm saying.
Well, I will definitely check that out.
Yeah, their album California. That's pretty good. It's pretty good in my opinion. But yeah, so Built to Spill, you like them.
I like Wilco. I like.
I don't know that I really. These are all bands that I know because of the Morrissey Clan and you.
Yeah.
Like
Gomez. Yeah. I mean,
Gomez. That was my cat's name.
That's awesome. It's a good.
And
I mean, I would recommend anybody check those bands out. If you like upbeat music, check out Gomez and Wilco. If you like philosophical lyrics and kind of trippy music, listen to Built to Spill. I would recommend listening to all of them. Built to Spill has been around for 30 years now.
You like Cursive?
I do.
I saw Cursive open for Alkaline Trio.
Now, these are the bands like Monine, Thursday, Cursive.
I like Thursday.
I listened to them back when I was more in my emo phase, and I don't listen to them that much anymore. I mean, Thursday is a great band. Cursive, like they're great musicians, and they're
yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they are just good.
They're good live.
Yeah, the first band I ever saw live was Thursday.
I've never seen Thursday, and they don't really do anything anymore.
I need to revise that statement. Because I already the first band I ever saw live was Bare Naked Ladies with my mom, because I had to go to a concert with my mom before she. I don't know what that weird parental rule is. Like, I need to take you to a concert before you can go to a concert by yourself.
I don't know that my mom ever did that. Like, my dad would just like take me to concerts. Like, he's like, we're gonna go see this person. Like, you're just coming with because you're here.
I want to see them, so you're
right. And my dad was like a country guy, so I saw all these fucking country artists. Which I'm not really too much of a country guy unless you're talking about like Chuck Ragan, who's like more like folky.
Yeah.
Chuck Ragan's also in the band called Hot Water Music, which is fucking good. But
No, I like folky. There's definitely a difference between country and folk, but there's a band Neva de Nova that's old, like it's new, but it's old twangy folk country, and that I really like. Connor Oberst works with.
He's
him
got a new album
Bright Eyes
out.
Yeah, I saw that. Actually.
I haven't heard it, but me
neither.
Yeah, you should check out a band called Larry and His Flask. They're fucking nuts.
I don't know if you told me who they were, but I feel like that sounds familiar.
I saw them. Me and Josh saw them at Riot Fest.
I think you told me when you were going to that show, potentially.
I've only seen them once, and I saw them
like afterwards. I think maybe you told me after the fact.
Maybe, potentially, yeah. I saw them like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, well, we would have been that was when we were hanging out still.
Yeah.
Because for those of you that don't know,
we can give a history of.
Yeah, here's a little bit of a history on me and Drew. Drew was best friends. Is that okay to say?
I'm still best friends with Ryan and Trevor.
Yeah, that only cuts me a little bit.
And you.
So Drew was best friends with my younger brothers, especially Ryan.
Ryan was the first, yeah.
Ryan was his introduction into the Morrissey household. So I knew of Drew, but he was still just my younger brother's friend at that point. And this is, middle school for them, high school for me.
Elementary school.
Okay, so I was probably in middle school when I first met you. And then, so I didn't have much interaction.
Right.
I think when
we weren't cool enough yet.
At my graduation party is when I sat down and we were getting drunk and oh, that's right. No, it was at Ryan's graduation party that happened at, where we were drinking and I said things that I regret saying that were not true, and I was just really drunk and fucked up and
I don't remember that.
I'm glad you don't, because I seriously sat in a circle with a bunch of your guys' group and they asked me questions and I just said yes to everything.
I was late to Ryan's graduation party. I didn't get there till like midnight.
It just felt good to have people think I was cool.
Yeah,
and I was like,
but I knew I talked to you way before then.
Yeah, okay. But I was thinking, so you were invited to my graduation party, maybe through Ryan.
Yep.
But I was a dick at my graduation party, and I disappeared because I had just gotten my first girlfriend. So we went and found a place to be boyfriend and girlfriend to really celebrate graduation, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you held hands, and
yeah,
your first kiss, you gaze up into the scars and the stars.
Kissing comes with marriage. You don't kiss till you get married, right?
You guys looked up to the stars, and you're like, you see that? That's the Big Dipper.
I just remember thinking,
one day I'm going to see that up close. From the moon.
I remember thinking on that night while I was holding her hand and looking up at the stars, I wonder if David Duchovny is looking at the star. I probably called him Mulder back then.
Yeah. I think our first real connection was over Scrubs.
Yeah.
I think so, because when we told that story, I think it was last week, where we were kind of watching Scrubs at the same time.
Yep.
And then
Scrubs got a bad rap from other people.
Well, I kind of talked to you.
There was some music stuff. Because I was going to a lot of punk shows back then.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I talked to you so much about it, but I feel like it came up on a few different occasions.
There's more when I was in high school, because...
Yeah, I'm talking a little later now.
Yeah.
I had... What's with that M on your yeah?
I don't know.
Is that your accent, or is that just...
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me undies.
Yeah, I didn't get really into punk until Josh showed me a lot of bands.
Okay,
he introduced me to.
What's crazy is we could have ended up being friends through Josh if I would have kept hanging out with Josh, because I was skating down the street one day and he had ramps out, so I just started skating with him, and he was way better than me.
He was very good,
and he was better than me on his ramps. And he was better than me in general, but it was one of those cases, and I'm sorry, Josh, but this is just how you were also 5 years younger than me, so you already were better than me just because you had the jump on me. But like a lot of the younger kids that start young, they learn tricks, but they don't learn style. I learned style. Like, I did everything with style, but I didn't know tricks.
Well, I remember you being really good at skating.
No.
You were.
Well, I can never admit to that, but...
I think you were good. And then you got your leg broken at the skate park by a kid on a bike.
Yes.
And that kind of put a damper on some things.
Yep. Yeah, that
really fucked your leg up.
Yeah, it definitely did.
And we've told that story before, too.
So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. But I just thought that was weird that I honestly, no matter what, we probably, if my life would have gone down that, like, if I would instead of going whatever, it's very interesting that there's...
Yeah, and I think, so I went to your graduation party. Obviously, I saw you at Ryan's, at Trevor's. You saw me get punched in the face over a misunderstanding. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I powed right in the kisser.
Well, and I envied you in that moment.
You wanted to be the one that got punched in the face?
I always want to get punched in the face.
And
you know that you can take a punch to the face. I don't know that.
I was wasted as fuck, dude. So I mean, I don't know if I could, like, in a regular state of mind.
I mean, seriously.
And to be fair, I went to the ground and I was definitely out for about a couple minutes.
That means you took a good damn punch to the face.
My nose is bleeding.
Yeah, I've tried to get many people to punch me in the face and will not do it.
But
there's a little bit more insight into my character for those of you out there.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I just think over time we
comedy was something that
right.
I think that was really the first time that me and you hung out by our, like, together.
Right. Oh, when we went
and saw Tosh and
Aziz. And that was
this is a long time ago now.
I think we saw Tosh, I want to say 9 years ago. So yeah, that's right. We went and saw those comedians. And
so this is what I was saying when you just said before, I think that was like 7 or 8 years ago, and I said, well, that was about when we were hanging out.
Right.
That's when we started kind of hanging out as friends without Ryan being part of the mix. Like, because Ryan went to Madison, Trevor went to Milwaukee,
right.
A lot of your other friends went. You had a kid, and your other friends went elsewhere.
Elsewhere, yeah. A lot of people went to Madison.
Yeah, and so, like, and all my friends went to Stevens Point.
Okay.
And like they waited until they were out of high school for a couple of years, and then everybody kind of just disappeared and went up to Stevens Point to get away from the drug scene here. And
Unfortunately, that's everywhere.
Yeah, but they left with a lot of my money that they
Oh, that's not cool.
Time.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Oh, a lot of them. There's almost everybody I knew, everybody I considered a friend, like left with at least $500 or $600 that they owed.
Really?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's great. But then me and you were kind of in the same boat where we were like, oh man,
Got no one to hang with.
Yeah, and it sucked, and it was like, it sucked that we were in that position, but it was cool because we bonded a little bit over that, and then we bonded over stand-up comedy, and we like to talk about music. I mean, because you like different music than I like, but we still like the idea of what music can be and can represent.
Yeah, and I think too, you're really like one of my only friends that listens to podcasts.
Yeah, once the podcast came around, that was another big thing. And
you're one of the reasons I started this podcast. Because
seriously?
We had a conversation one time a while ago. I was talking to you on the phone, and you're just like you pretty much just said like, yeah, man, like I could see you like successfully doing a podcast. And I kind of said, I was like, yeah, I want, because I had done one previously. And it just didn't work. I stopped doing it because I got a new job and everything like that at Wally World, and then it just stopped. And
I feel like I remember that conversation that I had with you.
Yeah, and then I was just like, yeah, I really want to get to it, but it wasn't until 2 years later after that conversation that I started it. But like, yeah, you were like really driving force of I need to start getting this shit. Need to look into how to actually host it, how to actually like get this stuff going.
Yep.
And that conversation is what led to what is here.
I'm glad.
What you're listening to.
Yeah, and I was 100% serious. Like, I seriously do remember that phone conversation because I just, at least I remember on it, unless I told you on multiple occasions, but I remember having a real conversation with you where I was like, no, I bet like I could, and I think I said it right after that. I was like, I would love to do it, but I couldn't. I don't think I would be able to. Yeah,
it was something like that. Yeah, because you would have been interested in it too, and I've been listening to podcasts for quite some time. Really been.
I think you're into big Joe Rogan at that point. Right?
I like Joe Rogan a lot. Tell Him Steve Dave has always been my favorite, and then Mark Maron. And I keep adding more, which fucking doesn't help me.
Yeah, if you really get into podcasts, it could consume your life.
Yeah, because I listen to a lot of the ones I listen to, like I said before, like celebrity interviewing celebrity, and if it's somebody I'm not interested in, I won't listen to.
That's how I'm.
But I listen to like all the indie ones that I'm really like that I'm friends with. Like, the Sometimes Geek podcast, I listen to that. I listen to BSP every week. I listen to Things Joe Hates every week, Lady of Bitch Time every week. And I prioritize all those indie pods over these other ones because I'm like, I can listen to those whenever I want to support these people that are doing it. And I listened to one, and I'm going to look up what the name is. I'm sorry, I don't know it offhand. It's pretty interesting. It's about some people a dude that just got out of jail.
I just started listening to. Well, I didn't just start. I started when it came out, but the Conan O'Brien.
I've listened to every single.
I like that. Yeah, I've listened to all of them.
The Informal Nature podcast is pretty good. It's about this guy's story who just got out of jail.
What's it called?
The Informal Nature podcast.
Oh, check that out.
It's pretty good. The story of Sandra Marie is pretty crazy. The Winks Thinks podcast, Bart Winkler, a good friend of mine. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in even listing the podcast because it's like you could just go on forever.
I really could. But Conan's I love.
Yeah.
I love Conan. I don't know. I wish I could. If I could go on a Conan taping or like somehow get on Conan.
He just changed his format to a half-hour show.
Yeah, and I don't fucking have I don't have that channel, so I only have like 10 channels through cable because I have Netflix and all that stuff, and I don't have it. But I think if I download the Team Coco app, you can watch full episodes for free.
I haven't seen Conan for so long, but I'm glad that he I like
changed it.
I like the path that he went down instead of just getting the late night.
He's my hero, man.
Yeah, he's
my broadcast heroes are. I really like Nardwar. I don't know if you've never watched a Nardwar interview. he interviews just musicians.
Okay.
Lately, it's really been a lot of rappers, but still, it's like fucking really. He's like, I don't know. Like he's pretty like known for having just like crazy fucking deep information about the people he's interviewing.
Yeah, there's a few people I listen to. Like I think it's called like Behind the Mask or something like that. Or no, what is it? Unmasked or something like that. And it's a guy that interviews comedians. And then there's the Inside the Actor's Studio, which is the
but like Nardwuar will like talk about like childhood friends of these people.
No, that's what the Unmasked thing does too. It gets down deep into their lives. Like it doesn't just talk about their projects,
right?
Comedy or whatever. It's like a full I forget the guy that does it, but he's a damn good interviewer.
Yeah, and Nardwuar, it's funny. He's like just a real goofy dude from Canada. He's in a band too. I forget what they're called, but it's funny. Definitely watch him. I also love Conan, one of my heroes, and then I'm a really big fan of Larry King.
Nice.
Larry King's the shit.
Hell yeah.
I watch this.
It's interesting, like, to have to define, like, because, like, with going to therapy and stuff, like, a big thing is, like, I never could figure out what my dreams were.
Sure.
Like, I never even let myself, like, really have a dream.
I'm a big dreamer, but I just never, and I never fucking chase them, though.
That's bullshit. You're always chasing your dreams.
Maybe.
More so than most people, so don't cut yourself down on that.
Okay.
I'm not joking.
I believe you.
I like, for people listening, you can't see my face, but I'm fucking dead serious. Like, you're, and this is gonna sound stupid,
in his hands.
but like, you're one of my heroes in
thank
terms
you.
of. I got my laptop and my podcasting stuff because of you.
Yeah.
And which I guess is because of me. So I guess I'm my own hero. And they say I'm a narcissist.
You saved yourself.
Yeah. But like, no, it's like when I had to define what my dreams were, which I never let myself really have them.
Sure.
In terms of like, I just figured, I'll fail, so why even have it?
Right.
Not even why try. Why even have something to think about trying? Until more recently in life, where now like Dan Harmon is definitely like a hero of mine. He came from Milwaukee, didn't go to writing school. He just liked the way that story structure works, and now people consider him a writing genius. I mean, he literally got his first job by going in and telling. He was just like, "I'm a writer."
Yeah.
And he got and then he started writing copy for like a fucking advertising.
Oh, really?
But so like he's definitely one of my heroes in terms of writing, and then I'm not even I'm not. It sounded like I was joking before, but seriously, I think you are probably one of my heroes in terms of just the fact that you are somebody that identified what want to be on. Like, I've seen you grow up, and you impress me. And I want to be more like you. Getting deep here.
You don't have to be like me.
Don't blush. I see the red in your cheeks. Don't blush. It's okay. I love you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, there's plenty of things I still want to do in life, and eventually, hopefully, I get to that. Time is always, of the essence, as they say.
Well, we never want to get to a point where we don't want it, where we've
done it all.
Yeah, where we've grown to the point. I'm done.
I can expire now. I've done it.
Dust off that box with the gun with one bullet in it, because I'm done.
I am kaput.
It's not because I'm sad. It's because I'm overjoyed.
Yeah.
So what was the question?
I don't know.
What's your favorite color?
Yeah. What's your favorite color? I was gonna say, and so a thing like that I did today, even because you were talking about doing things that like make you feel uncomfortable, or branching out. Yep. So today, I told you a little earlier, I downloaded this app because I need to start working out again. I have goals of achieving some body that I'll probably never get. But anyways, you can try.
Shaking my head. He'll get it. He gets everything. He's Superman.
Sometimes.
Fondy Superman.
That's what you said, Superman, and I did this exercise called the Superman, but I downloaded this app, and
It's called a segue.
It's like, this is
Coincidental segue.
I was like, this is what I want, or whatever, this is what I want to do, and it gives you, every time you work out, it gives you your workout, and it shows you, like, it has a thing where you enter the reps you did, how much weight it was. It says, for this exercise, you're doing, like, for one exercise today, I had to do 5 reps of 3.
Yep.
And then you enter, how many reps you did. You can change it.
Yeah.
And then you put, like, how much weight it is, and then eventually it gets to know you, and it, like, then it tells you the weight you need.
And you know what app you are, so Drew's not going to say your name until you fucking sponsor.
So then I was doing that, but then all the exercises, I was looking at them, all of them involved free weights, like bench pressing, and that stuff I'm really, really uncomfortable doing. Like, I don't like doing it because I just feel people it's irrational, but I feel like everybody's looking at me going like, this dude is fucking out of shape, can't lift anything, you know what I mean?
That's insane.
And I was seriously, I probably stood in the weight room at the YMCA for 10 or 15 minutes, just like just looking at, I just kept looking at them. I'm just like, I'm not doing it. I actually deleted the app while I was at the gym. But then I downloaded it again, and then I tried to switch. Like, okay, I don't want to do these today. I want to do this.
Yep.
And then same thing. It gave me more just kind of free weight stuff. And there's a big group of people over by the free weights and all the benches and all that. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I was really stressing about it. Like, I had anxiety over it.
No, that's it's crazy how our brains work. But I'm trying to think of, because I have some similar things where it's like, I want to do it, and then I walk in, and like the people there make me walk away.
Right, exactly.
Because it's like, either they go, you think in your head, like, they're like, why bother? Why the fuck would this guy even bother?
Right, yeah, and that's why I kind of like, and people looked at me, whatever, and I see how much they're lifting. I was like, these guys are in good shit. Like, I just was like so self-conscious that I fucking deleted the app, and then I like sat down on one of the regular machines I always do, like when I start to work out. And then I was just like, no, if I really want to do this and really want to see results, I have to, like, I don't know a lot about your body, muscle groups, and that kind of shit. Like, this app is pretty legit.
Yep.
And then it's given me different exercises, and every time you do, like, so today I did my chest, my back, and some ab work. And every time, the next time around where I get to that's going to give me different exercises. So you're not doing the same shit over and over.
That's the cool thing when you're explaining it to me, is that not only can you set this app up where you set it up and you schedule it for yourself, and then it'll learn your schedule, but it'll also give you different workouts so that you're not just doing, like, because you can constantly do curls, bench press,
eventually you gain,
but then your
muscle
own
memory,
and it's like the muscles, you have so many more muscles than just your biceps and your whatever, but can I just suggest that next time you go in there, when you go to use free weights, start with the 2.5 pounds and act like they're really heavy. And just be like, 1, 2.
I could try, but
and then the next time go in there and go 5, and be like, I doubled it. Doubled it since last week, you guys. and then maybe that'll help you get over your anxiety.
But I ended up just saying fuck it, and I did it. And
That's good.
I put.
This is what I'm talking about.
I put like the little weights.
I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off for 1 second. Yeah. He's on the little weights, so remember that thought. This is what I'm talking about to you listeners out there. He says that he's like, I feel like I'm the person that doesn't follow through. He's telling us right now that he had a legitimate anxiety attack, which is very hard to overcome. I've had anxiety attacks, and I have that kind of mental anxiety. When I went to I don't know if I've gotten into this, but when I went to NA, I only went once, because the second time I got there, sat in the parking lot and was like, I can't. Like, that was another thing where I got super anxiety from, like, the idea of going in there and, like, trying to, like, whatever. It was like
Right.
that's what the whole point is. Everybody in the people that weightlift, like
They're trying to get better. They're trying to better themselves.
Yeah, and it's the same thing where it's like if they see you struggling or doing something wrong, they're not going to go fucking what an amateur. They're going to come up and go, hey, here's a pointer.
Right,
They're going to want to
right.
help you, you know. So it's like, but you overcame it, you know. And it's
Yeah,
like, that's a huge that is the type of person that you are. So I just wanted to point that out.
Thanks. Yeah,
Because I love seeing your face when I give you compliments because you're so uncomfortable.
It's but doing that, like I was just like, I just have to do this. Like, if I wanted like the results, I got to do it, and I'm gonna try to keep doing it. Like the things that they're telling me to do, I'm gonna buy the app. So I found out you only get 3 free like workouts.
Yep.
And then you gotta pay like $60 for the year, which is $5 a month. It's not too bad.
I had a yoga app
That's another thing I want to do is
for
yoga.
a while, but this is similar to what you were just talking about, but it's completely different in the sense that there was a while when I was hanging out with this girl, and I haven't talked to her for a while, but we were good friends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She moved away for a while, but she went to live on an ashram or whatever. She came back and she wanted to be a yoga instructor.
She went to what?
An ashram. That's where you learn to like be.
Is that
A yogurt master.
I picture
Please call the episode yogurt
I
master.
picture like this environment, like kind of like that painting. Like you go off to this like little like shack in the woods where there's a pond, and then you're just like it's like the Karate Kid only with yoga.
Yeah.
It's like
no,
young
it
grasshopper.
was up in the mountains. It
and
was
now
like,
we do downward dog.
It was a little bit more intense than that, but
okay.
so it was up in the mountains, and
Eat a bell.
so like and I will say, so like she needed a. She was like,
Namaste, motherfucker. Sorry.
about to get zen in this bitch. So like she came back and she wanted to, so she needed experience as a yoga instructor.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, hey, you want to be, I'll give you private lessons.
Right.
And like, so I went to a couple, and on the first one, it was so amazing. It was like at the end, she did this thing where like she talks you through stretching or this like you
Right.
lay on your back, and she was like, okay, inhale to your toes, to the tips of your toes.
Right.
Inhale to your heel, and by the end of it, I seriously couldn't feel my body. I couldn't feel. It just
Really?
felt like I was a brain.
Yeah.
It was the craziest feeling.
Well, not only it is good for your body, your health. It's good for your mental health too. But that's another thing that's like kind of the next thing I want to do is at the Y there's a lot of classes, and then I always see them in there. I always see them in the rooms doing stuff, and it's classes that I'm interested in doing. But I'd be the only dude in the room, which is like I don't want people like thinking like, oh, this dude's a perv. I'm like, no, I'm genuinely.
You're trying to smash some yoga.
You're
pose.
right. It's like I'm genuinely interested and want to do this thing, and then I don't want to look like a fucking idiot too.
Well, so
that's
here's
just another.
yeah, and this kind of coincides with that because I would do that with you because when I try and do yoga on my own, I got that app.
Mm-hmm.
I would seriously make fun of I would make fun of myself in my head.
Right.
Not like a bully or whatever, but like I would get that anxiety because like I felt so. It was almost like talking to yourself in a mirror. Like, have you ever had to practice for a speech or something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I cannot do that. I have to just wing it because the idea of like talking in a mirror or talking to I'll talk to myself as I'm like walking back and forth pacing or whatever. But the idea of reading a scripted like speech or something out loud to myself is so. It's so embarrassing to me, and I can't even watch people do that on like a movie. Like it makes me so uncomfortable.
They do. Fondy does TED Talks every year, and they're taking applications right now. I applied last year, but I didn't. But I didn't get in. I don't know what I would talk about. Like that's the problem is like they make these they pick the theme of it after the applications are sent in, and it's like I don't know what I could say. And like I don't have any articles. It would be like just a personal like mine would be like a personal like experience.
You should do it on adapting your dreams.
I tried it. I did mine on. I sent my application in for about podcasting last year.
Because seriously, like as long back as I like after high school, I always remember you saying I'm going to be on the radio. And, I want to be an MC on the radio, and and you did that. So achieving and adapting your dreams would be a great topic for you, because you did that. You got on the radio, and then I just remember you being like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. I know it's just a local radio station, and I still maybe want to get on the radio in a bigger sense. But but podcast, like you were like, I really like these podcasts, so or whatever. I think I'd be good at that, and we had that conversation.
Right.
And you adapted, and you said, okay, well, in my personal life with my family, I have to do this to support them, but in my fantasy, like my perfect life,
right,
I want to do this, and that's what I'm okay. I had to adapt a little bit, and who knows, like once if this podcast gets to the point where it's gets big enough and maybe
selling out arenas,
and it's like maybe you don't want to stay with the podcast, but that would get you the option to get onto a national broadcast or something like that. But I
think I always want to do podcasts.
I think podcasting is better than it's just the way that it goes, like there's more freedom, there's more, and there is potential in it now that we didn't know about 10 years ago.
Well, the Joe Rogan podcast is on Sirius Radio.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, so it's like
get 1,000 episodes of this show and we could be
syndicated.
We gotta start doing this a little more often than once a week.
No, you got your whole life.
He does like fucking Joe Rogan does like 3 a week.
That's insane.
But that's his job.
Yeah. So, but I always tell my dad too, because the other thing is, there's what the Moth is. You ever listen to the Moth radio show?
I've heard of it. I think
because I actually really like those their radio shows, but they also release them as podcasts. This American Life, the Moth.
I like This American Life a lot. Ira Glass.
Snap Judgment is my favorite.
Okay.
But. The Moth is, I think, like once a month or something. They do a show in Milwaukee.
Really?
It's not the national one that gets you on the radio show.
Yeah.
But if it's like you go down and if you do your story there, if it's good enough or whatever, they'll help you mold it to the format, and you can get it on the actual national show. But I always told my dad that he should Terry, he should do it, because his dad had him start painting when he was 8 years old or 9 years old.
Right.
So full time in the summers and after school and stuff. So like when he was 50, he had 40 years of painting experience.
Right.
And he changed his, like at 50, he changed his career. He's changed his career goal into being a caddy. And he loved it. He loved everything about it. And I kept telling him
we should do a podcast with Terry.
I told him that too, and I told him, because he's a storyteller.
Yeah,
he loves telling stories. He loves being the center of attention.
Yeah, he does.
And I was like, you should try and get on the circuit of the storytelling, like, because seriously, your story is right now. People need to hear that, because people that are in that 50-year-old range, if they lose their job, there's no hope for those people right now.
Yeah, especially the people that a guy I work with, he spent, I think he was worked 30 some odd years as an engineer for a company, and the company just went bankrupt. Eventually, and disappeared. And now he's working where he works, and he's just like, he honestly just told me, he's like, I'm just coasting for another couple of years, I don't think.
But nobody wants to hire a 50-plus-year-old person, because they know they're only going to get 15 years of work out of them. So you can get a job at Mickey D's or like Shopko, or well, not Shopko now because it's closing, but
ours is staying in business
for a little while. But they told all their employees to update their resumes. The only reason I'm remembering this
fucking ghost town, dude.
Just because you just said that, my mom was just telling me this morning that somebody she knew, she's known for my whole life. So since I was like 3, This lady has worked at Shopko for the last 30 years. And
Damn.
she's 58 years old, 59 years old.
Okay, so
she's like
realistically
she's so close
8 years maybe until she retires.
She's so close to retirement, and
That
she's like,
sucks.
I don't know what I'm gonna do for. How you get hired how are you gonna get hired to a place when you go like a decent job when it's like,
Right.
oh well, but I'm gonna leave in 5 years.
I get like sometimes when I just think sometimes like, what would I do if I were fired for some like weird reason I was fired from my job. I'm like, where the fuck? Try to think about where I would go, and I'm like, I really don't know. But I've done that with every job I've ever had.
Yep.
It's always just like when I worked at Walmart, I'm just like, even when I was like applying other places, I'm like I don't know where else I can go. Like I don't, you know what I mean? And then
Now you've got options anywhere.
Kind of.
Because you have supervisory and management experience. So that's huge. That'll get you in anywhere.
Right.
For me, I always look at it like, oh, it'd be a blessing because I could just leave. I could just leave now, but it's hard to leave 3 weeks paid vacation and
Right.
Decent insurance.
I left that at Walmart. I had 3 weeks. I worked there for
But that's
almost
why
10
you're
years.
my hero. I'm not joking. Like seriously, you walked away from a safe situation and a comfortable situation or whatever, comfortable financially or maybe, I don't know, but let's say yes. Because you were like, I want to be happy.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can do that. Or not a lot of people have the courage to do that.
Yeah.
And it's impressive to me. And I know that this is just me sucking your dick on mic, and I'm sorry to all you listeners out there, but that is the truth of the matter. Like I've always had a lot of respect for you, so
I appreciate that. Well, we're gonna wrap this up because
I can't believe we already got through this whole. We had like, what was the thing?
We're just getting to know you, and I think the listeners now know you are truly infatuated and in love with me. And I like that.
I've been stalking you for years.
those hand marks outside of the window, I know who those are now. No, we actually have to do something else after this, something pretty exciting. So we're cutting the show a little short.
Okay,
We're
cool.
at the 51-minute mark. But we're going to be, I don't know when it will be coming out, but our friend Amanda from Lady Bitch Time is on the verge of giving birth to her first child. And she's gonna be out of commission for a little bit, and she asked us to do an episode of her show, Lady Bitch Time.
And
we're not ladies, but we know how to bitch.
Hell yeah!
So
we can bitch like ladies.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on when that episode comes out, but we got to think of something to bitch about. But before we go, we drank Two Brothers Artisan Brewing, the Domaine DuPage. The French country ale. I am going to say this didn't stick out to me in like a major way. It's not bad. It's not the best I've ever had. And one of our resolutions was we're going to be legitimate. Like we're going to fucking be honest.
Yep.
I liked it. If it was in the fridge and I had nothing else in the fridge as far as beer, I would drink it.
Would you drink it over your main,
No.
like the main, like whatever the main breweries are, Bud, Miller, Coors?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the commercial beers, yeah, for sure. I would drink this over a Bud Light or over a Miller. I think Miller's disgusting, to be honest. Even though I wish they weren't losing their sponsorship of Miller Park for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, that was interesting.
There's gonna be probably some fucking American Family Insurance.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Stupid. They just bought the amphitheater right. So it used to be the Marcus Amphitheater. Now it's the American Family Insurance Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
I hope they go.
Insurance is
I hope they go out of
joke.
business because they spent too much on advertising.
And if you work for insurance, I apologize, but let's face it, insurance sucks.
Yeah, if you work for insurance, you're probably not the guy up the totem pole that's going, deny it. You're just the guy that's going, I need to sell policies.
Right.
And we all got to make a living, but your boss's boss sucks dick.
For sure. And if you are,
And I mean that like I don't mean that as it like just like sucking dick is a bad thing, because it could be a good. I'm not saying. I just mean
earlier when you
your
said
boss's
you
boss's
shouldn't be
boss
saying
is a
things.
douche.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. Yeah. So I would say drink it, try it. It's
Well, Okay, so is this an IPA or what is it?
No, it's an ale.
This is just an ale?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, so for me, I normally like the dark, the lagers and stouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I drank this one pretty easily.
Right.
There was none of that beer bitterness to it.
Yeah, it went down easy. It doesn't have a bad aftertaste or anything like that. I'm just saying,
But you normally drink these types of beers. So for me, I don't normally drink these types of beers, and even when they're good, when we're on the show, sometimes they're harder for me to get down. This one was an easy. It was a good. It tasted
smooth for sure.
It was smooth. It tasted okay. There wasn't a bad aftertaste.
Didn't make me burp.
I drank it easily and fast, and I would drink it. I don't know. I don't know what the cost ratio is to other beers or whatever, but like if I went out and I was, I could drink it and get drunk.
We should establish like a scale. So instead of like drink it or dump it, we could call it like the IB Dudes or the IB Dudes.
We be dudes.
We be dudes. Like IBUs, IB Dudes. I don't know. Yeah,
we'll figure it out in post.
It's fine. Rob, we will see you again.
Yeah, can't wait.
Unless the world ends, and then
I am so psyched, and I hope
for the world ending.
No,
okay.
For being named co-host. I hope everybody is okay with that, and I'm sure you can reverse it if you email enough.
A lot of people emailed saying that it should be a thing.
But I enjoy hanging out, and I enjoy all of it. So
love it. Thank you.
Later.
Audio.